what would you think? You would think they aren't a doctor. Being fluent in English is about believing in yourself first. If someone asks you, are you an English speaker? And you answer, no. Well, of course, they're going to think that you don't speak English. And if you come up to someone and you don't truly believe that you are an English speaker, then they're going to feel it. They're going to know that you don't believe it. They're going to see it in your eyes, and they're going to think that you don't know English. When you go up to them and in your mind you're thinking in a different language and telling yourself that you're not sure about what you're going to say in English, the person you speak to will know that. So the first thing you need to do in order to become an English speaker is believe that you are an English speaker yourself. We've already decided that you are an English listener because you understand what I'm saying and you're still here. So what does it take for you to become an English speaker? All you need to do is speak. That's it. Just open your mouth and say the words. Right now, while you're listening to this seminar, I want you to speak to yourself. That's right. People around you might think that you're crazy, but this is how it all starts. You need to say right now, I am an English speaker. I speak English. Say it again. I am an English speaker. I speak English. Again, I am an English speaker. I speak English. Keep saying it until you believe it. When you take a shower, say it 10 times. When you drive to work, say it 10 more times. When you wake up in the morning, say it 20 times. Remember, if you don't believe that you are an English speaker, then nobody else will believe it either. It all starts with you. In fact, it doesn't matter how many words you know. It doesn't matter which grammar rules you know either. It doesn't matter if you have an accent or not. It doesn't matter. Well, nothing really matters. The only thing that matters is if you can open your mouth and make sounds that are words in English. If you can do that, then you're an English speaker. There's one mistake that you can make that will stop you from being an English speaker and becoming fluent in English and improving your English speaking skills. There's only one mistake. You don't need to worry about grammar rules and you don't need to know thousands of words. There's only one mistake that you truly need to avoid. Here is a rule to remember so that you don't make that mistake. The rule is the only mistake is not speaking. I'll repeat it. The only mistake is not speaking. That means if you don't speak and don't practice speaking and don't open your mouth and make English language sounds, then you're making a mistake. It also means that if you say the wrong word or use the wrong grammar form or write the wrong letter or if you have an accent, it's not a mistake. Those are not mistakes. When you're learning English, those are not mistakes because each of those things is a chance for you to learn more and grow more. Those things help you develop your skills. The only mistake is not speaking. When you have the chance to speak and you don't speak, you just lost an opportunity. When someone tries to talk to you and you ignore them because you're afraid to say the wrong thing or afraid that they won't understand you or that they're going to know that English isn't your first language, that's a mistake. When you don't speak, that's a mistake. There are no other mistakes when you're learning English. Only that one. That's why you need speaking practice every day. Even if you don't speak correctly, you can get a job, study at a university abroad, meet people, have fun, and live life. If you don't speak when you should, then you'll never make connections with people. You'll never get the job you want. You'll never go to the school or university that you want, and you'll just miss out on a lot of things in life. There's only one mistake when you're learning English, so don't make it. Make a decision right now that you're going to get speaking practice every day, and you are not going to miss out on opportunities to have the life that you want. Now, let's talk about another big problem that a lot of English language learners have. A lot of people who are studying English come to me and say, Chris, I want to lose my accent, or Chris, I want to speak like a native speaker. And at first, I was surprised when people said this to me. Now I understand that most people in the world think like this, and teachers everywhere have been teaching students that they need to lose or reduce their accent, and they need to perfect their pronunciation in such a way that will sound like a native speaker. Sounding like a native speaker is really important for a lot of people. but they don't understand what it means to sound like a native speaker. Just like almost everyone is confused about what it means to be fluent in English, they're also confused about what an accent is and how to improve their pronunciation. You see, the truth is that everyone has an accent. I have an accent. You have an accent. I've never met you before and I've never heard you speak, but I know you have an accent because every person has an accent. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just an accent. It's life. Accents are just sounds that people usually use in the place that you're from. That's it. Nothing more. In fact, if a family from one place moves to another place and then raises a child there, the child will usually have the same accent as the family at home. So having an accent is not bad and it's not good. It's just an accent. Everyone has one. People from New York have a New York accent. People from London have a London accent. Every place or region has some kind of accent, and sometimes special groups of people or subculture groups also have special accents. So when students come to me and tell me, Chris, I want to speak like a native speaker, I say, okay, which native speaker? They're usually confused and they say, you know, an English speaker like you. And I have to remind them that there are lots of native speakers who speak differently. This is why we have to set goals first. If you want to move to Australia and get a job there, then you need to learn a different accent and different phrases than someone who wants to study at a university in London. If you want to work in South Africa for a year, then you need to learn a different accent and different phrases than someone who wants to immigrate to the United States. So be more specific. It's a really big problem that a lot of students have. They don't set specific goals. They say, I want to speak like a native speaker, but they don't really understand what that means. After you decide which type of native speaker you want to sound like, you need to ask yourself a very important question. What would an English speaker do? You should ask yourself this question when you're doing usual things throughout your day and in your life. Even when you aren't studying English, ask yourself this question. If you need to find some information online, ask, what would an English speaker do? Well, English speakers use English resources like Google to search for information. If there's a different website that's more popular in your country, then you need to start using Google and start thinking about what words you can use to search for and find the information that you need. If you don't know what a word means, ask, what would an English speaker do? Well, English speakers feel like they should know their own language, so when they come across a word that they don't know, they look the word up in the dictionary. It still shocks me how students who are studying English and who don't believe that they are an English speaker don't look up new words when they hear them. Instead, they just tell themselves, well, I'm not an English speaker, so of course I don't know that word. That's crazy. When you hear or read a new word, you need to find out what it means. And even more than that, you need to love the process of finding out what it means. Another thing that happens a lot is that students come to me and tell me they want to lose their accent or reduce their accent. They're always surprised by my answer. You'll probably be surprised too, but this is the truth. You can never lose your accent. That's right, it's never going to happen. You can try and try and try for years and years, but you won't get rid of your accent. And you don't need to. What you need to focus on is adding a new accent, not getting rid of your old accent. You see, an accent is just like a collection of sounds, and you're never going to forget how to make those sounds. I don't think you want to forget how to make those sounds. You know, those are the sounds of your first language. Then you wouldn't be able to speak to your family and friends. Instead, you want to add more sounds and be able to speak to more people. So there's no reason to reduce or lose your accent. Focus on gaining a new accent. When people try to improve their pronunciation, they also don't usually go about it the right way. You see, one of the most important aspects of pronunciation is listening. That's right. If someone is really good at listening, they can develop great pronunciation because they can hear the different sounds that native speakers make. They train their ears to hear new sounds that are different from the sounds in their first language, and they try to understand which sounds are in different words. Before you can make those sounds yourself, you need to be able to hear them and understand how they're different from the sounds that you already know. If you try to speak a new language with your old sounds, then your pronunciation will be terrible. That's what most people think of when they say, I want to lose my accent. They really mean that they want to stop using the sounds of their first language or of another language in the new language that they're learning. So if you think that you have a terrible accent in English, then that means you need to learn the sounds of English better, especially the sounds that are different from your first language. You need to stop using your first language sounds in your English speech. Now, I understand, it sounds easy when I say it, but it isn't easy to just stop using the sounds that you've been using all your life, right? That's why you need speaking practice every day. If you have speaking practice every day, and especially if you can practice with native speakers every day, then you'll be able to hear the differences in pronunciation and in sounds. You also need to listen to how sounds change in different words and different combinations of words. Most words, letters, phrases, and combinations of words have more than one sound. For example, the word can has a strong pronunciation and a weak pronunciation. In the sentence, I do what I can, the word can has strong pronunciation, which means that we pronounce it like can. You probably thought that's the only way to pronounce it, but in the sentence, I can do what I want, the word can has weak pronunciation and sounds like can. Listen again. I can do what I want. We know when to use the strong pronunciation and when to use the weak pronunciation of this word by where the stress in the sentence is. If the word can is stressed, then it has strong pronunciation. If it's unstressed, then it has weak pronunciation. Most people don't pay attention to these small differences in sounds and pronunciation, and most teachers never teach students about them. But this is another aspect of the language that's very important. Okay, now we've talked about a lot of different ways for you to improve your English, and I hope that you're writing everything down because there's a lot of information in this seminar today, and we aren't finished yet. In fact, right now we're going to talk about the 3 biggest mistakes that you're making and that your teachers aren't telling you about. How do I know that you're making these mistakes? Well, I've taught thousands of students from around the world, and I know that every student makes these mistakes. I'm not talking about grammar mistakes or pronunciation mistakes. I'm talking about learning mistakes. Mistakes in the process of learning English. These mistakes stop you from learning English properly. They stop you from learning English quickly, and they stop you from learning English correctly and with confidence. The first one is easy. It's a rule. And that rule is that exact translations do not exist. Every student in the world who tries to learn a language opens up their dictionary or translator and starts translating words. They say, this word means this in my language, and this word means this. I'm not saying that you shouldn't translate. I actually think it's good to translate, and it helps you learn the language. But the big mistake that people make is that when they translate things, like when they translate words or phrases, they think that the translation is going to work 100% of the time. They think in 100% of the situations in the new language that they're learning, the word that they just translated will work exactly the same as in their first language. And that's never true. Many words have second meanings or third meanings or sometimes even 10 or 20 other meanings. If you always walk around thinking that one word in English means exactly one word in your language, then you'll always be confused. When we learn a new word, we need to understand that we're learning one meaning of many meanings. We need to be open to learning other meanings of the same words that we've already learned. We cannot just learn a word and then tell ourselves that, hey, we've already learned it, so it always means what we've learned that it means. That's not how words and languages work. There might be special phrases or idioms that use a word differently. In different contexts, the same word can have different meanings. It's important to understand that there are never exact translations because when we translate words, we're using different languages. Here's what most people think. They think that we have a word, for example, let's use the word girl. If we simply translate this word into Spanish, then we get several words. Niña, muchacha, chica. Now, Spanish and English use the same basic alphabet, the Latin alphabet, so it's sometimes difficult to remember that these are 2 different languages. Let's just look at that word again. Let's use muchacha and girl. It should be simple to see that these are 2 different words. If we translate girl to Russian, it's девочка or девушка. Russian uses a different alphabet. It uses the Cyrillic alphabet. Here, it's easy to see that these two words are different and two different languages. But what most people who are learning English forget is that these words have different meanings too. Even though the translation might tell us that these Spanish and Russian words mean girl in English, we must be open to understanding them differently. We must remember that words can have many meanings in different contexts and situations. We must remember that there are no exact translations. In Spanish, the word niña is usually about a little girl or a young girl. But in some Spanish-speaking countries, such as Mexico, this word might be used like the English word baby to say something kind or sweet to a wife or girlfriend. In different Spanish-speaking countries, these words might have different meanings. In some places, the word muchacha might mean a girl who works in a specific type of job, and it might be rude or offensive to say this to girls who don't work in that job. We can see the same differences in meaning with the Russian words that are usually translated as girl. The first one, девочка, means a little girl or young girl, similar to niña in Spanish. But it's not usually used to say something kind or sweet to a wife or a girlfriend. The other word, девушка, can also be used to mean waitress in a cafe or a restaurant. If you want to get the waitress's attention in a Russian cafe, you can just say девушка, and she'll come to your table. Now, it would be very rude to say girl to get the waitress's attention in an English cafe. So the translation is the same, but the meaning is different. Also, in Russian, the word девушка is used about females starting in their teenage years up to their 30s or even later. And in English, the word girl is usually used for females under 18 or in their late teens and early 20s. But females in their early and mid-20s usually prefer woman. In Russian, the word woman translates as женщина, which would be very rude to say to someone in their early or mid-20s. So it's important to understand that girl, muchacha, and девушка are not the same word and do not have the same meaning. And that is part of the second big mistake that every student makes that stops them from learning English correctly, which is focusing on learning what and how instead of learning when and why. You see, most people who learn English or any other language focus on what to say and how to say it. In other words, they focus on vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. What they forget to study is when they should say those words and phrases and why they should say them. They forget to study context and purpose. Without context and purpose, it's really difficult to learn and understand and know a language well. Without context, it's difficult to understand what the phrase pick up means. When you learn context, you understand that probably this phrase is about answering the phone. Without purpose, it's difficult to understand why people say things. Without purpose, it's difficult to understand why someone would say the phrase, "It's a piece of cake." When you learn purpose, you understand that probably this phrase means that something is very easy to do. When you focus on studying words separate from their context and purpose, you're going to get very confused. You'll probably think that people who speak English are very strange because the phrases that they say aren't connected to what's happening around you. You won't understand them, and they probably won't understand you either. So when you learn new English words, new English grammar, phrases, and other stuff in English, you need to learn when and why to say things, not only what to say and how to say it. Sure, learning what to say and how to say it is also important, but don't forget about learning context and purpose. A great teacher of English should teach you all of those things. They should teach you what to say, how to say it, when to say it, and why to say it. And then you have to practice it. When you use it in speech and when you have speaking practice with real people, you'll understand how this works. And that brings us to the third big mistake that every student makes. I would say it's a huge mistake. It's a giant mistake, really. And nobody has ever told you this before, I'm sure. It's really surprising to me that nobody is telling students who are studying English that they need to do this. This mistake stops you from learning fast. If you correct this mistake right now, then you're going to learn twice as fast. So, are you ready? Here is the mistake that you're making. You aren't teaching anybody. That's right. Yes, you heard me correctly. You aren't teaching anybody. I know you're thinking, but Chris, you are the teacher. You should teach us. We shouldn't teach people. We don't even know English yet. But listen to me very carefully right now, because this might be the most important advice anyone has ever given you about learning English. The best way to remember information is to teach it. The best way to understand information on a deep level is to teach it. The best way to make information a part of you so that you never forget it and you can always go back and use that information is to teach it. It's not important that you're still studying English. If you know one word of English, you can teach someone who knows 0 words. If you know 2 words, you can teach someone who knows 1 word. It's not important how many words you know or how much grammar you know or how good your pronunciation is. You need to find someone to teach. English is not something that you do alone. It's not something you learn by yourself and speak to yourself. Only crazy people do that. You need to speak it with other people, and if you're lucky enough to know English better than other people, you should share it with other people. You need to teach people. Another reason you need to teach people is because it gives you a routine and it gives you a strong reason to learn more, to keep improving, and to study English long term. So here's what you need to do. You need to think of 3 people who you think you could help learn English. Write their names down on the piece of paper in front of you. And what you should do next is contact them and say that you want to help them learn English. Maybe you're going to send them a new word every day, or maybe once a week you're going to meet and practice speaking and you can teach them some new phrases. Whatever your plan is, you need to tell those 3 people your plan. You need to tell them because we want them to contact you if you forget. If you tell someone that you're going to help them learn English and that you're going to send them a new word every day and then you forget to send them a new word, well, that person is going to contact you and say, hey, you didn't send me a word today. And that's going to help you keep going and keep learning because now you're responsible to someone else, not just yourself. That's really great motivation. Go start teaching people English right now. Okay, if you're still here on the seminar with me and you've stayed this long, then I know that you have what it takes to really succeed at learning English and becoming a great English speaker. A lot of people don't have the desire or motivation or patience to do something for an hour or more and to focus on things that they really want. You do. So now I'm going to tell you about the absolute best resource online right now for learning spoken English, getting speaking practice, and finding speaking partners. There's lots of resources available online that are completely free, and there are some great paid resources too that are not very expensive. You might already know about some of these resources, but that's okay because they're still really useful and it's good to use them with the strategies that I've given you in this seminar today. At the end of this seminar, I'm going to give you some free resources that I've made for you, so make sure you stay until the very end to get those free downloads. You'll be happy that you did. First, we talked about learning words, and I gave you an example of learning 6 words every day so that you can learn 2,000 words in 1 year. In fact, if you learn 2,000 words, then you'll know 80 to 90% of all of the vocabulary used in spoken English. 80 to 90%. That's amazing. Most people use the same words in almost all situations in life. When they're speaking with their friends, family, colleagues, and anybody else, they use the same words. So if you want to understand and speak English well, you should start learning 6 new words every day. And if you learn 3,000 words, then you'll understand 95% of spoken English. To help you do this, I've created a resource for you that you can download. It's a list of the top 3,000 words in English. I know that some of you will think that 2,000 isn't enough, so that's why I decided to create a list of 3,000 words. These are the top 3,000 words in English, so they're really used by native speakers and by other English speakers too. These are the words that you need to know. Next, we talked about grammar rules and grammar topics, and I suggested that you learn 1 grammar topic each week, and if you do that, then you'll learn 52 topics in 1 year. I've made a list of 52 grammar topics that you can download, and if you do that, then you'll learn 52 topics in 1 year. I've made a list of 52 grammar topics that you can download. We also talked about books and films, and I suggested that you read 20 books and watch 30 films in the next 12 months. And we talked about setting your goals and putting them in your calendar so that you can definitely reach your goals and learn English. All of these resources are available to download at the end of this seminar. But there's one other skill, the most important skill that I haven't mentioned yet: speaking. I've created the best resource for learning spoken English, finding speaking partners, and becoming an English speaker that exists right now on the internet. Thousands of students and teachers have seen this resource, and they've told me that there's nothing else like it anywhere in the world. I absolutely understand, and I agree with them. When I created this resource, I wanted to make it available to students around the world so they could get speaking practice any time of the day and do it from their phone or from their computer. I wanted to bring teachers and students together and make it affordable for students from anywhere to join, even students from very poor countries and with very little money. Most teachers charge money for their teaching services. I understand that. I'm a teacher too, and I charge money for my teaching services too, but there are a lot of students who can't afford to take lessons. So I made it my mission to solve this problem and to help students everywhere get the speaking practice that they need without charging a lot of money. When I first created this resource, people didn't really understand how I was doing it. They said, "Chris, why are you doing this? You could ask for a lot of money and people would pay it because this is really, really good." But that's not my mission. My mission is to give everyone the opportunity to have speaking practice every day. So I created this amazing resource where English learners can practice speaking every day with professional native speaking teachers. They can meet other students from around the world and find speaking partners who have the same goals as them. I know that sometimes it's difficult for them to find a speaking partner from their own country because they both speak the same language and it feels strange to speak to them in English. That's why they need a speaking partner from a different country. Someone from a country where people don't speak their language. So I created this resource where they can find a speaking partner from a different country or from lots of countries around the world. They can also use this resource to learn new vocabulary and grammar and then discuss what they've learned in a student chat. The student chat is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they can ask questions or make suggestions there anytime they want. This student chat is really a community where students from around the world can share their opinions and practice writing skills too. And this resource is called Everyday English. Every day, there are speaking lessons that students can join with professional native speaking teachers and other students from around the world. Each lesson takes place at a different time, and each lesson is about a different topic. This resource is different from other resources because the students and teachers can all see and hear each other. We use a special platform on our website that lets students and teachers from around the world speak to each other at the same time and practice their English. Teachers can hear what students say and correct their mistakes in their pronunciation. Students can also suggest lesson topics and choose what they study. But probably the best part of this resource is recorded lessons. Lessons are recorded and students can go back and watch them. So if a student can't study every day, they can go back and watch recorded lessons later. We have thousands of lessons already recorded for students to watch when they aren't participating in our live lessons. So now you can understand why this is such a great resource. It's the best resource on the internet right now for learning how to speak English. You can learn reading, writing, listening, and other skills online on YouTube and on other websites, but there's no other resource for learning speaking. This is the best way to learn speaking. Most of the students who have joined our Everyday English program have also told us that this is the fastest way to improve their speaking. A lot of students couldn't speak before they joined. They didn't have confidence. They didn't know a lot of words. They thought that people would laugh at them or people just wouldn't understand them. But they decided to try this program because they really wanted to learn how to speak. They studied English at school or university, but they couldn't speak. And those same students send me messages all the time saying, "Thank you so much, Chris, for creating Everyday English. I can speak English now, and I feel confident enough to speak to anyone in the world." And that makes me feel really, really good. I'm so happy and so proud that students everywhere can use my Everyday English program to improve their speaking and become part of the international community. Some of my students have gone on to enter universities in the UK or the US. Some of my students have got jobs in international companies and improved their salary and income. Some of them have moved to Australia or Canada. The results my students have are amazing, and there is no other program that helps students get these kinds of results in just 1 month. That's right. My students get results in 1 month. Just 1 month. Could you imagine that you could speak English better than you do right now and with a lot more confidence? Plus, you could have thousands of recorded lessons that you can watch anytime. Plus, you could have speaking partners from different countries around the world. Plus, you could have a supportive community that helps you stay focused on learning English and studying every day. Plus, you could have live lessons every day with professional teachers from English-speaking countries. Plus, you could have a special student chat where you can discuss what you've learned any time of the day or the night. And if you have all of those resources, in just 1 month, you'll definitely be able to speak English at a higher level. That's why everybody says that this Everyday English program is the best resource for speaking practice in the world. And I agree with them. There's nothing else like this anywhere in the world. This is a one-of-a-kind program. So at the beginning of this seminar, I told you that this seminar is level 1. This is just the beginning of what I'm going to teach you. With this level 1 seminar, we set your goals. We talked about what it means to speak fluently. We talked about how to have perfect pronunciation. We talked about the 3 biggest mistakes that students make when they try to learn and speak English. I told you about the free resources that I'm going to give you at the end of this seminar and the resources that you already have access to. Right? I told you to go over to Facebook and join my group called English with Chris Americos, where I post about English every day. Go to my Instagram called Chris Americos, where you can get lots of motivation to learn and study. And go to my YouTube channel called English with Chris Americos, where I have over 500 video lessons that you can watch for free. And very soon, I'm going to tell you how to get all of the free downloads that I've created for you with this seminar. And we also talked about the best resource on the internet right now, which students say is the best resource in the world right now for learning how to speak English fluently and with confidence. It's absolutely the best, and there's nothing else like this Everyday English program in the whole world. You really got a lot of information here today, and I'm going to tell you how you can completely change your life and take your English to the next level and start speaking English right now and reach your goals in just 1 month. Right now, it's time to make a decision. You have 3 choices. The first option is to just listen to me talk on this seminar today and then do nothing. That's right. That's your first choice. You can listen to all of this great information that has helped thousands of students around the world, and you can decide to do nothing. You can just sit there, and when the seminar is finished, you can just forget everything and never learn English. That's your choice. It's a bad choice, but it's your choice. And I'm sure that some people will do that. That's option number 1. Option number 2 is different. You can take all of the useful things that I've given you today, and you can use them, and you can try to learn English yourself without my help after this seminar. I mean, this is level 1, and maybe you think level 1 is enough for you, and you just want to keep learning English without my help, and that's your choice. But if you haven't learned English yet, then why would it work this time? What's different now? Who's going to motivate you to learn? Who's going to speak with you every day? How are you going to find a teacher who really knows how to teach you English correctly? How are you going to find a teacher who students say is the very best teacher in the world? You probably won't be able to do it, or if you do it, then it's going to take you a very long time. Before this seminar, you probably studied English and you probably had other teachers. You probably tried lots of things. So why did you come to this seminar? You joined this seminar because you still feel like you need to improve your English and you aren't confident in your speaking skills. Or maybe you feel like you can understand English well, but you still can't speak at all. Or maybe you just can't find the time in your schedule and you need some organization in your life. No matter what the reason is, there's one main fact here. You still can't speak English at the level that you want. So option number 2 is you keep doing the same things that you have been doing and you keep studying without my help, but you know what the result will be because you already had the result before you joined this seminar. Option number 3 is the one that will really change things for you. You can ask for my help by joining this amazing program that I've created. I've already told you how effective it is, and you've seen other students who have got results from studying with me. Students from lots of countries all over the world have studied with me and taken their English to the next level. There's a reason they think I'm the best. It's results. They say that I'm one of the best teachers in the world because of the results my students get. So if you want results, then you're in the right place today. Option number 3 means you get lessons with professional teachers. You get lessons with native speaking teachers from English-speaking countries. You get a special student chat to use 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. You get live lessons where you can practice speaking. You get speaking partners from around the world. You get a supportive community that will help you and motivate you. You get recorded lessons so you never miss anything. And that's going to help you start speaking English correctly and confidently, and that's really going to take your English to the next level. So if that's what you want, then the Everyday English program is for you, and you're really going to love what I'm going to tell you next. The students who have joined have told me that they learned English and started speaking from this program, and I think that's great. That's already a really amazing thing. But they've also told me that it has changed their lives, because now they can do what they could never do before. That's why so many people say that this is the best program in the world and that there's nothing else like this anywhere. And that's because everything in this program is so incredibly valuable. The students who have joined have told me that I shouldn't give anyone a discount because this program is too good. They think that I shouldn't give a discount to anyone because this program is worth so much. And without a discount, if you wanted to join right now without a discount, it would cost $100 per month. So $100 per month is the standard price, and it's really cheap when you think about everything that's included. Some of the students in this program have told me that the price should be $500 or $600 per month because I give students so many resources in this program, and there's no other program in the world like this one. Some students can't speak English, and then after a month in my Everyday English program, they start speaking. It's really amazing. And one of the things that students always ask me before they join is, how will I get to speak in these lessons? They think that if lots of students join the program, then they won't have any time to speak with the teacher. And that's not true. I've created this program in a very special way to make sure that every student has the time they need to practice speaking and practice using the language and start speaking English quickly. I understand that other programs and courses and lessons and teachers don't do that. They don't get results for their students. This Everyday English program gets amazing results. Let me tell you why. When we first started the Everyday English program, there was only one lesson every day. Now, most programs don't even give you one lesson every day. It's hard to find any teacher who will teach you every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. But that's what I did. Then, when more and more students heard about the results we were getting, they joined the program, and we had a lot of students. But I had planned for this from the beginning when I made the program. So what happens is every time more students join, I add another lesson every day. The students who are already in the program get more lessons and more practice, but they don't pay more. The price is the same. So I added another lesson every day, and we had 2 lessons every day. I know 100% that you will not find another teacher who will teach 2 lessons every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. That's 2 hours every day because every lesson is about 60 minutes long and every lesson is recorded so students can go back and watch them if they missed them or if they don't understand something that the teacher said. That's hundreds of lessons. And when more students join, we add more lessons again. When I created Everyday English, my goal was to have a lesson every hour of every day. I want this program to grow and help students all over the world so that everyone can speak English well and understand each other. That's my goal. So every time a student joins this program, they're helping me achieve that goal because every student adds something to our community. That's why this program is different from any other program anywhere in the world. That's why students stay in this program month after month after month because the program gets better and better and the price stays the same. So when you think about everything that you get, well, $100 per month is really nothing. So that's the standard price. But most people tell me that it should be $600 per month because of everything that's included. And I agree, because this program is life-changing. But I also understand that most students who are studying English don't have that much money to spend, even on a program that will change their life, like this Everyday English program. And even though $100 per month is a really low price already, and it's worth a lot more, even though that's true, I've always wanted to find a way to help everyone learn and speak English. Even though I'm considered one of the best English teachers in the world, and even though this program is full of value and so many great resources and useful information, I still want to help people who can't pay that much money and find a way to help people around the world. I understand your situation because before I became a teacher, I wasn't successful and I didn't have money. I tried to learn languages and I really loved learning languages, but I didn't have a lot of money to spend on courses and lessons and programs. If I had found an amazing program like this, I probably would not have been able to afford it. So, I've decided to do something special for everyone who's on this seminar today. For those of you who have stayed until the end. Right here, right now, I'm going to lower the price to join this life-changing, super effective program. I'm going to give you a huge discount that will let people from every country in the world participate in this program and start speaking English right now. I'm going to decrease the price for everybody who is still here. So you'll still get the full program, the live lessons with professional teachers and native speakers, the thousands of recorded lessons, the 24/7 special student chat, the community of speaking partners and international support, new topics every day, and you can suggest topics, and you can join the lessons from your phone or computer. You still get all of that. And if you wanted to get those things separately, then it would be a lot more expensive. The live lessons are worth $300 alone. The recorded lessons are worth at least $200, and the chat and support are worth $100. Plus, you get to meet speaking partners and speak with native speakers. You get professional teachers every day, and you can use the platform and study English anytime from your phone or computer. That's really a lot of value. And altogether, they are worth $600. And the standard price to join is usually $100 per month. So if you join after this seminar or before or tomorrow or next week or next month, then $100 is the price. But right now, on this seminar, I want to make you a special offer. And I want to give you the opportunity to join my Everyday English program with everything included for just $49.99 per month if you join today. So usually it's $100 per month, which is already a low price for what you get. And I know that some of the students who are in this program are going to tell me that I'm crazy, but I want to offer this super low price of $49.99 per month to join right now. So that's a 50% discount. And that means you get 50% off right now and 50% off every month for as long as you want to stay in the Everyday English program. When the price goes back up, you won't pay more. You'll just pay $49.99 per month. If you want to stay for 1 month, you can do that. You don't have to continue, and you can stop at any time. It's really easy. If you want to continue, then it will only be $49.99 per month for you. It will cost $100 per month for people who don't get the discount, but it will cost $49.99 per month for you for as long as you want to continue. So you can try it for the first month, and if you don't like it, you can quit. That's okay. But I think you're going to love it because 95% of the students who join say that they love it because there's nothing else like this. And $49.99 per month means that every lesson is less than $1. In fact, it's less than half of $1. I've checked online and I've looked everywhere on the internet, and there is nothing else on the internet like this. There are no programs and no lessons that are this cheap. This is the cheapest price anywhere on the internet ever. So you'll never find another opportunity to get speaking practice and everything else that I've told you about for just $49.99 per month. Every day, there's multiple live lessons and lessons that are recorded and added to the program so that you can go back and watch them and you'll never miss a lesson. And I think you understand already that this is a limited offer. That means it only works right now. It won't work tomorrow or next week, only right now on this seminar. So if you join Everyday English before the end of this seminar, you can join for just $49.99 per month. Like I said, you can look on the internet and you can look at different websites and schools, but nobody offers a course or a program for only $49.99 per month. Every month, you're going to get live lessons every day with native speaking teachers who are professionals and are great at teaching. I've been teaching for 10 years and I absolutely love teaching. You get lessons with me and other native speakers. You get the 24/7 student chat. You get recorded lessons. You get everything that I told you about. And the most important thing that you get is results. If you want to speak English and you're tired of courses and lessons that don't work and teachers who don't know what they're doing, then you have to join Everyday English. It's usually $100 per month, but on this seminar, if you join right now, you can join for just $49.99 per month. So what you need to do right now, if you want to join for $49.99 per month instead of $100 per month, if that's what you want, then you need to click the button on the right side of this screen right now. In fact, the button might be under this video or on the right side of this video, but when you click that button, it will take you to the special discount that we have right now. This special discount will end soon, so click the button, make the payment of $49.99, and start using this amazing resource. This is a 50% discount, and it only works right now on the seminar. After the seminar, it stops working, and the price will be $100 per month. The results that students get from this program are crazy. In 1 month, they make more progress than they do in 1 year studying in other programs. This is a life-changing program, and only right now, it's just $14.99 per month to join. If that's what you want, if you want to speak English fluently, if you want to have speaking partners from different countries around the world, if you want to be confident when you're speaking English, if you want to speak English better than everyone who you know, if you want to use English to make more money, make more friends, and improve your life, then click to join right now. Okay, well, at the beginning of this seminar, I told you that I was going to answer some questions at the end, and now it's time for me to answer those questions. I also told you that I would give you the free resources that I made for you to download at the end of the seminar, and after I answer a few questions, I'll tell you how you can download them. If you still have questions that I haven't answered, then you can write them in the chat box and our support team will answer you as quickly as possible. There are a lot of questions coming in, but we're going to do our best to answer all of them. So, okay, the first question comes from Mario. He says, "Hi Chris, will the Everyday English program help me if I want to immigrate to another country, for example, the UK? And will it help me improve my scores on the IELTS exam?" Great question, Mario. The answer is yes. And this program will definitely help you if you want to immigrate to an English-speaking country, or even if you just want to go there as a tourist. It doesn't matter if it's the UK or another English-speaking country, this program will help with that. It'll also help anyone who wants to study in an English-speaking country at a university or a college there, or even people who want to get a high-paying job in an international company. A lot of international companies today require their managers to know and use English at work. And you might have to take an international exam like the IELTS exam or the TOEFL exam. And this program is going to help you with that too, because we help you improve your speaking skills. And those tests now have speaking sections on them that are really important. But by focusing on speaking in this program, you're actually going to improve your other English language skills as well. So, a lot of people don't know it, but when you improve your speaking, your other skills will also improve. And we've seen this happen with a lot of students that we've worked with, and we have a lot of data to back that up. So it's not just something that I'm saying. Your speaking scores on your exam will improve, but the other parts of the exam will improve too. So, and really the most important thing that you get from focusing on speaking, like you do in this program, is that the exam's going to be a lot easier for you, because you're going to use the language as it's meant to be used, as a tool, a tool for communication. So yeah, great. Great question. Thank you. Okay, next. Ahmed writes, "If I join right now, will I get a full month or only until the end of this month?" Okay, I understand what you're asking, Ahmed. The answer is that you'll get a full month. The day that you join doesn't really matter. You get a full 30 days from the day that you join. So if you join on the first day of the month, then you still get 30 days, until the next first of the month. So, some months have 31 days, so it might be 30 or 31, but you'll get a full month no matter what. Okay? Thanks, Ahmed. Good question. Okay, the next question comes from Pablo. Pablo says, "Hi, Chris. I want to know about the times of lessons. I work usually and want to know that I can be at the live lessons." Sure, Pablo, I understand. So here's what you can do. When you click on the button to join the program, the button that's next to this video, wherever you're seeing it, then it's probably on the right or under the bottom, somewhere around this video. So if you click that button, you're going to go over to a page, and on that page, you're going to, first of all, you're going to see the discount and the button that says join here for a discount. Okay, so at the bottom of that page, you're going to find a list of questions, and one of those questions is about when the lessons are, and there's a calendar where you can check and you can see when the lessons are going to happen. So, all of the lessons that have been planned for the next month, basically, you're going to be able to see them there. Also, that's where you're going to find the free downloads from this seminar. So for anyone who's been waiting for that, that's where they are. Great, okay. But yeah, let me remind you that this is the calendar for live lessons only. When you join, you also have access to hundreds, actually over 1,000 now, recorded lessons. So you can go watch those immediately and you don't have to wait for any schedule or time or anything like that. All right? And by the way, we usually add those recorded lessons a few hours after the lesson finishes. Okay, let's take another question. Next, Nadia writes, can I pay with a credit card or do I have to use PayPal? Great question. Nadia, you can pay with a credit card, you can pay with a debit card, or you can pay with PayPal. You can use any of those. If you use a card, it has to be a Visa or a MasterCard. And you'll need to enter the name that's on the card and then, the card number, the expiration date, so the month and the year. And then you'll also need to enter the CVC, or on the back of the card, there's a code that you'll need to enter. So it's usually 3 digits, 3 numbers on the back of your card. So you'll need to enter all of that information in order to make the payment. And so when you write that information on the page, then you'll make the payment right there, and then you'll join, and that's it. And if you don't want to continue after that, you can stop. It's really easy. You'll just not pay for the next month. You'll just stop, and inside of the program, there's a button that you can click that lets you stop if that's what you want to do. But most people want to stay at least a few months because it's really cheap, right? And you get a lot of speaking practice. Absolutely. So, but it's up to you. Okay, great. Thank you for that question. And if you want to use PayPal, you can use that too. Card, PayPal, both of those work. Okay, here's another question. This one's from Annie. Annie asks, how many students are there usually during one lesson at the same time? Thanks for that, Annie. So it really depends. Each lesson is different. Sometimes there's only 2 or 3 students on the lesson, and sometimes there's 10 students. So yeah, so what we do is every lesson, we make sure that we split students into groups that are small enough where everyone will get chances to speak. So it doesn't really matter how many students join each lesson, because the part where you get to practice is always going to be in a small group. But yeah, sometimes it's different. If you go during the busiest times, there might be a lot of people there, but we try to have groups of about 10 people in each lesson. That's the ideal. That's the best for us. So that's a really good question. And this kind of size and how we do it, it helps everyone learn, because there's people from all over the world in this program with lots of different accents and different ways of speaking. And this is the most effective way to learn English, because when you study with just one person from one country, you might not understand people from another country. So you don't really understand the language in whole, right? You just understand one piece of it, one part. So it's great to speak with people from different parts of the world and hear how they use this language. Great question. And by the way, for everyone who's still here and still watching this this seminar, I want to remind you that the more students who join this program, the more lessons we add. So imagine that tomorrow 100 new students join. That's okay. We're just going to add more lessons. So some of those people will come early in the morning, and some of them will come late at night, and some of them will come in the middle of the day, right? So there's going to be different lessons planned all day, so that no matter what time it's best for you, you can log onto the website, you can log into the program, you can join a live lesson, or you can watch a recorded lesson, or do whatever you want to do. But there's always going to be something available for you. So that's really the best thing about this program, is that you can join and you can practice at any time of the day. So don't be afraid that there's going to be too many students, because the more students there are, the more lessons there are. And the program just gets better when there's more people. So great. Okay, the next question comes from Priya. Priya asks, if I join right now with the discount, will I have to pay the full price next month? Great question. The answer is no. Priya, if you join right now with the discount, then you keep the discount as long as you stay in the program. So if you decide to stop, you stop, that's fine. But most people want to stay longer than 1 month. And if you join now, you have this discounted price. And that means that this month you get the discount, and then the next month you get the discount, and you get the discount for every month that you continue from now until you decide to stop. But if you join later, then you don't get this discount, and it's going to be a little more expensive. So I highly suggest joining right now and getting this discount before this seminar ends, because we're just doing this for a short time, for a limited time, and the price will go up later. And it's already gone up before, and it's going to go up again because so many people have been joining this program, and it's really a great program. So thanks for that question, and I hope I answered you. Okay, let's take another question. There are a lot of questions today, really. The next one's from Alexander. He writes, can I pay in my currency with money from my country, or do I need to pay in dollars? Okay, good question. You can pay in any currency from any country. So you don't have to pay in dollars. You don't have to have a special bank account for dollars or anything like that. Just pay with the money from your country. That's fine. You could do that. And, you can check on Google right now. If you go to Google and you type in the exchange rate between your country's money and United States dollars, then you can see how much the discounted price will be in your money. Okay. Next we have a question from Lily. Lily asks, are there any lessons about pronunciation or grammar? Yes, Lily, but we try to make it so that every lesson is a chance for you to get speaking practice. So that's really important for us. We want you to speak and speak and speak and have speaking practice with other students and with the professional teachers who work with us. So that's what makes this program so effective, really. There's topics, there's lessons about all kinds of topics, but we're always going to be practicing speaking. Okay, let's take one more question, and then we will finish this seminar, and I'll let you go download those free resources that I promised you. So the last question comes from Raul. Raul asks, do I need any special equipment to join the lessons, or is everything available on your website? Great question, Raul. No, you don't need to buy any equipment or anything like that. You just use your computer, your headphones for live lessons. You don't have to buy special headphones. You can use the microphone, you can use the speakers, whatever you want to do. So you just use your computer or your phone. You don't even have to have a computer. You can just use your phone to join the lessons and log into the website. And after you join, you'll get a password so you can log in. And then there's a video that's going to explain each step of what you need to do next. So how you can use the platform, how you can join the live lessons, everything like that. All right, and then you can join the 24/7 chat. You can, join the community of students. You can find speaking partners. So everything is really easy and really clearly explained when you join. So that's it. All right, I'm gonna flip the camera back around for a minute. So that's it. Now it's time for us to end the discount and tell you how to get the free resources I've created for you so you can use the strategies that I've given you in this seminar and so you can start getting speaking practice today. The best resource for speaking is Everyday English. You should already understand that. Students say it's the best resource in the world for learning speaking. I agree. There's nothing else like it anywhere. And with this discount, it's also the cheapest option for English lessons anywhere on the internet. And that's amazing. Here's what you get. You get live lessons with professional teachers every day, and those teachers are native speakers from English-speaking countries. You get every lesson recorded, and when you join right now, you'll automatically have access to hundreds of recorded lessons that you can start watching and learning from. You can get the 24/7 chat where you can discuss things in English and practice communicating with other students. You get to join our supportive community that will help motivate you to study every day. And probably the best thing you get if you join right now before this seminar ends is you get a 50% discount that you can keep as long as you want to stay in the program. So usually it costs $100 per month to join this program, and students say that it's worth $600. But today, only right now, you can join for just $49.99 per month. But you have to join right now. So click the button on the right side of the screen or under this video to join with this really big discount. All right, great. Here we are at the very end. So you really don't have that much time to decide if you haven't decided already. And I need to make something very clear to you. I've spent 10 years becoming the best English teacher in the world. I train other teachers how to teach, and I'm also a business trainer. I show other teachers how to start their own teaching businesses and make money teaching. I know everything about other teachers and other schools and other programs that are available on the internet and offline. I've looked at all of them. I can tell you with 100% certainty that there is absolutely nothing like my Everyday English program anywhere in the world. I'm not just saying that. Those are not just words. I really mean that. The results that my students have got from studying with me and studying in my program are better than any results from any other program. If you want to learn English and you're not sure how to do it effectively, I'm going to give you the answers that you're looking for. If you came to this seminar, then you're looking for something. Now you've found what you're looking for, and you have to make a decision. There are 3 options. Option number 1 is that you do nothing. If you do nothing, you'll get no results, and you should already know that. Option number 2 is that you keep doing what you were doing before this seminar. If you do that, then you might get some results, but it'll take you a long time, and you'll spend a lot of money trying to find the right teacher, the right program, the right books, and you might never find that stuff, and you might never get the results that you want. Option number 2 is long and hard and expensive. Option number 3 is the answer. Option number 3 is that you get results. Option number 3 is Everyday English with Chris Americos, where I'm going to get you better results than any other program or teacher in the world. You get my support, knowledge, and experience, and people say that I'm the best in the world, so you get the very best. You get everything that we've talked about here today, and you'll know that you've made the right decision because right now, it isn't expensive, and you can stop anytime if you don't like it. So it's your decision, but option number 3 is really the answer to all of the questions you had before you came to this seminar today. It's a small decision to make, but it will have life-changing results. So let's do this together. Let's get results. Let's change your life so that you can look in the mirror and see yourself and say, I'm an English speaker. I speak English. And really, really mean it and believe it. I know you're ready for a change and you're ready to get results. I know you're serious about taking your English to the next level and using it to improve your life. It's your time. Let's do this. So click the button on the right side of the screen or under this video and get your discount. That's all for this seminar. Thank you so much for participating. Now I'm going to send you to a page where you can download the resources and you can join this amazing program. I look forward to speaking with you very soon.